Hello, I'm Roboraptor, and welcome back to the Desert Facility Park in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Today we are going to be expanding the park and building an Allosaurus rock. Or, not really Allosaurus rock, more just like a rocky place for the Allosaurus. It'll just be called Allosaurus rock. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, as you can see here, if you will remember from episode 2, we built a zip line in the Australaveneta lookout, going all the way past the enclosure, all the way down here, which I did this after I already finished recording. I just made it go down. I just gave it a lower elevation, as you can see here, and I made this kind of hole, as you can very clearly see. And this is where we are going to be building the Allosaurus rock. I should probably stop calling it Allosaurus rock, like the Allosaurus rock, because then it just sounds like the Allosaurus are living on or in. I don't know if they're living in. I've definitely gotten stuck on inside of a rock in games many, many times. And I've gotten stuck in rocks many, many times. Not been the most pleasant thing ever, so I'm just gonna call it Encloser, but it's actually called Allosaurus Rock. It's just kind of a pain to say that all the time. And we simply gotta build a basic outline of the enclosure, which will kind of follow this a little bit. There we go. I think that's big enough for the Allosaurus. And then this leaves us with this little area over here, which is what we are going to be starting on. Starting on building, of course. Let's see. What building style do I think we should put in this area? We want something that feels more concrete-esque, if you get what I mean. Like this almost, because it's the Allosaurus rock. We gotta kind of stick with the theme of the Allosaurus rock. So I think using these concrete buildings will fit pretty good. So the multi-buildings it is. We really are using the multi-buildings a lot in this building series, but understandable since we are in a desert. And let's see. First, I think I want to get the outline of the path. Not this path. This path. Let's see. What shape do we want it to be? So I want to have a kind of circular type of thing over there. I want it to kind of follow the shape of the enclosure very loosely. And then we can also sprout it this way, and we could put maybe a building here. Could also then maybe put some more buildings inside of here. And then we cut it off here, and then I feel like adding another path color over here. And then I'll probably just get this out of the way real quick. I want to add some remote viewing galleries. Let's see. The log would most definitely not work here since the log is very mossy, as you can see. And I don't think you get giant redwood trees. I think this is supposed to be a redwood. You just don't get random redwood trees in the desert, so it'd be kind of weird if we use this one. So, as you could have thought, we are not using. Oh no, not bulk demolish. I don't know why I always don't want to use bulk demolish, and then I use bulk demolish. It's very, very annoying. I think this one's small and compact. We just have the smallest connection point ever. You would literally just walk from here to here. It's so short there should just be a tunnel, literally. Just like a physical tunnel. Let's imagine that there's a physical tunnel just leading between this, because it is very close together. That's kind of a nice coincidence there. Nice little coincidence. Where did my dome viewing gallery go? It's gone. It's just poofed out of existence. Let's add another one over here. This is definitely not the biggest enclosure we've done so far, but it's definitely going to be really cool because it's going to be kind of boring maybe too, but I'll try not to make it that boring because I'm going to be adding lots of special things inside of here. Do I know what special thing is? Not yet, but I will soon enough. Okay, I just want to get that out of the way so we don't have to worry about that later. And then we just bring it out using the pathway. I don't know. This thing has happened to me where, you know how normally when you just have a building, it would normally just like, the path would do this, where it just snaps to the building and you don't have to do anything special. But for these, for some reason, it's not like snapping properly because I can still move around. Unless I move it like right into it, it's snapping, which just, it looks very weird. Don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of annoying, but I also kind of like the effect that it gives. Because you know how you have like, only when you use different path colors, since I'm pretty sure you just, yeah, you could just use the standard path and it would look exactly like that. But I don't know, I kind of like how that looks a little bit. That kind of looks a little cool. Okay, and then we just do like this. And then we just connect them all up. Connect the dots, you could say. But extreme connect the dots. Even though this isn't really that extreme. It's still connecting the dots though. So it's not extreme connect the dots. But it's still connect the dots. How many times did I say dots in that sentence? I don't know. I said it a lot of times. Okay. So now we can actually place down some buildings. And I kind of want this to be kind of similar to this area we did back here where all the buildings are kind of put together and there's not a lot of like guest path area, if you get what I mean. So I kind of want to do that again. And I want to put an emergency shelter wherever it is. It's no, wait, that's the emergency shelter? It looks so round. It looks so round. The emergency shelter looks round, yes. My emergency shelter is very round. Yeah, the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at the other emergency shelters, oh, this one's also kind of round, now that I look at it. Other than these two ones, the Malta emergency shelter and the Jurassic Park one. They all look kind of more rectangular in their shape. And in their hitbox, they're way more rectangular. So it's kind of weird that it's like more spherical. If you get circular, not spherical. Its hitbox is a lot more spherical. Or circular. You get what I mean. I'm making no sense of it, but like, you get what I mean. If you compare it to the other emergency shelters, it looks way more circular. There, that's the word. Not spherical, circular. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we can continue placing other buildings. Like a fountain. I just think a fountain fits really nicely here. Wow, I did not actually think it was this big. I thought the fountain was bigger. I did not know my path was this big. But I get... What? Why is there just... Okay, a lot of weird things are happening in my game today. There's just a random, like, cutout thing there. There's no water. What happens if I place it? What? And now it's gone. Sometimes games confuse me. I still play them because they're fun, but sometimes they just confuse me. That's all I can say. Is that sometimes they confuse me. I should also add some of these. Let me just turn random rotation off right now. Very annoying random rotation. Don't quite like it, except when I'm placing specific stuff like trees, for example. They need random rotation. My normal decor does not need decoration. Oh, my normal decor does not mean decoration. Yes, English. Yeah, my regular decorations do not need random rotation. Let's see. Can we add some more buildings in here? Let's add the small hotel. Do you think a small hotel can fit in here? Come on. I know you. Oh, perfect. Does it look the best with this little cutout? Definitely not. But guess what? I can fill it in with decorations. Ah, yes. Decorations will never fail me. Not a Spinosaurus. Imagine Spinosaurus just roaring at the pole. Not with a Spino, since we have an Allosaurus. If we had a skeleton for every species in the game, that would be amazing. But sadly, we don't, and that would be a lot of work for Frontier. Not gonna lie. How about just double it? 2 of these things. No, 3 of these things. Triple whammy. And then also just a couple lights. We really are kind of changing up the style with this area. Like, we're really not sticking to what we normally do. The normal style. We kind of are, like, taking a piece of inspiration from this area, but we're still, like, compared to these other areas, it's gonna be a lot less facility-esque compared to the rest. Which makes sense, but also doesn't make sense, since Allosaurus, I feel like, would be, like, I don't know why, but I make a high association between Allosaurus and facilities when we're talking about those 2 things in this game. It's just things I, like, make sense of together, you know? And let's see. I think the hotel's big. Oh my goodness, it fits in perfectly. I was not expecting such a perfect fit. I used the wrong path there, but it makes sense. Because it's a hotel, even though... let's imagine, like, these umbrellas are not here, and it's a... I was gonna see if I could place myself down here. And it's a water conservation for the aloes. Yeah, definitely. Or it's just a really special-looking paleomedical facility. Yeah, that's what it is. Nonetheless, it still looks very cool if you just think of it as something else. And then let's see, I think I can also add this. I've been doing this with a lot of my parks recently, where I put what do you call these, viewing towers, but I don't like put them like really close to the enclosure. I put them like in the guest area. I did it over here too. You can see where I put them in the guest area, and I have them look at the enclosure from the guest area. I've been doing that a lot recently, but I really do like the way it looks. And we obviously use this one since it's the best looking for a facility. We angle it like that because we can still see it like that. Perfect. And then we just connect it up using our favorite pathway. And bam, it's already looking quite full, even though we just placed like 3 buildings. Yeah, okay. Now, before we continue the rest of the build, I just want to put in a few smaller buildings, such as the restrooms. Which restroom looks good? This restroom. You just put a bunch of these in a line, and we imagine there's some totally different building. And bam. There we go. And you just kind of walk through them. Yep. And then we can also add, how about a research center. Well, not a research center, a science center. Oh no, it's too big. No, it's too big. I was not expecting it to be this big. Dang, I underestimated it. Let's see. I think we can fit maybe a couple... I'm thinking. I'm not even that sure what else we could put in at this point. Maybe a couple of are classic tour truck buildings. I love the way they look, and I don't use them as truck tours. I use them as very simple buildings that just full empty spaces and look really, really cool. Yeah. I don't even use the truck tour as intended. I simply only use it because I like its building design. Wait, one sec. Sorry, I had to cough there. Yeah. Did I mute the game? Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, now it is time. Time has come to execute order pathway. Yeah. Execute order pathway. Imagine Palpatine says that at the end of Revenge of the Sith. It'll be execute order pathway. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm probably gonna be doing this for a while, judging how big this area is. So I'll see you when I'm done with this. Bye bye. For now, not forever. Just for now. Okay, so I am finally done with this, and it didn't actually take that long because obviously we have all these buildings here. But the path tool did do some pretty weird stuff. Like, if you can see here, I don't think I should be able to get this close where I'm practically inside of the restroom's hitbox. That was weird. The actual hitboxes of the restroom were being very confusing because they obviously have this thing where when you're like going from the back, they have this connection point, which can sometimes be a bit problematic because it can like warp the pathway, which is very annoying. So like when I was back here, it was like warping the pathway. You can see here, like, because it wanted me to follow it, which was being useful until I hit this end bit, and then it had to do this weird curve. But nonetheless, I still was able to finish the pathway. And now, all we need to do is add a bit of storage elements into this. And maybe a fountain or two, because fountains look amazing. And you know me, fountains look amazing to me. So, yeah, and I think we're gonna add... We're really, like, calling back to the main area. We're really taking a lot of inspiration from it, because I'm also gonna do something like this again. I did really enjoy making this little area, so I suppose it would only make sense for me to do it again. Plus, it just makes sense to have storage. Okay, so where should we put that? We should put that over here, behind a restroom, no? Because then we'd be blocking the fountain. How about here? Right here. We just delete the fountain, and then we place down a ton of facility storage buildings. Facility, there we go. How about a line of crates, maybe? Yeah, let's just add as many things that we think look good. Like that. And this won't be the biggest area ever. It'll be kind of small, actually, when you look at it. And then we just add maybe 2 canisters like this. I always like when I'm using these like crate tank container things and enclosure, or not enclosure, cages. That's definitely not an enclosure. This is an enclosure right here, but this Nuh-uh, how could I call this an enclosure? That's a disgrace to the actual enclosures. Okay, and let's add a few more. And we don't really need to go that crazy with this area. It's meant to be a real small area, so we don't have to do that much with it. And maybe a tower just for good luck. Wow, I'm putting a tower outside of the Ostra Veneto lookout. Would you look at that? Oh, and I put it right next to the other two towers here. What a coincidence. I really do like towers. Really do. And maybe just a couple floodlights all over the place, just so we can light the place up at nighttime. Because when I do the tour, I will have day-night cycle on. Meaning that it'll get dark at times, so we gotta light it up. Okay, there, now I placed them all down. And maybe I do have a little bit of a room for maybe just a little bit more storage over here. Let's add a truck, and let's add the other truck. I really didn't even know that this power trailer, that's what it's called, existed. It looks super cool though, because it's just this, but it has some added accessories, and it's changed a little bit, because you can obviously see the colors look different, and it has a bit of rust. I never even knew it existed, but I'm really glad it does, since it just makes it look so much cooler. A Trossoraptor cages, which really don't look like a Trossoraptor cages. And finally, maybe just a water tower. Dang, this trailer is as big as a water tower. It's either this trailer is humongous, or this water tower is tiny, which I think this water tower is pretty tiny. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty small. Like, this one bar is the size of, I'm assuming, an average human being. I think that's what we are in first-person mode. Obviously, we're a human being, but we might not be an average human being. Seeming that we can, like, just pop into the sky and fly. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna leave it nice and open, because I've been leaving a couple areas open a little bit, such as this one, and I think it looks really cool, so I'm gonna continue the theme of that. Okay, yep, I quite like it. And now it's time to get started on the enclosure. So I'll finish that, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I finally finished the enclosure and I think it looks really good. Um, the thing that makes it look so good, in my opinion, is just the elevation. After I made it like just elevated just a little bit, not even a lot, it made it look so much better. And I'm about to make it also look so much better because I just realized if I add a little bit of vegetation in these gaps everywhere, just a little bit, not a lot of it, just a little bit, because this is meant to be a very rocky place, it'll make it just look a bit more vibrant and it'll make it look like the foliage kind of matters a bit more. Yeah, bam, already so much better. There we go. And then just add a little bit over here. And bam, the enclosure is now officially, actually done. I think. Yeah, it's done. I think it looks really cool, mostly because of the foliage and the elevation. Without it, it was just kind of looking like a bunch of rocks on just a of lakes everywhere. And it still kind of is that, just spruced up a little bit, and I think that makes it just look miles better than it was before. And I also realized that the sad truth for dome viewing galleries, if you have a bad angle for a viewing gallery, it's gonna stay like that no matter how much you turn and twist it. It's gonna stay on that angle. And I had to learn the hard way by constantly just keeping on, just turning it and turning it and turning it, hoping that the view will change. But no, it just kept looking over here, so I just put I just put a piece of meat there. And I also put I put meat feeder, not pieces of meat, I just put meat feeders everywhere where there was a viewing gallery and a dome. So that no matter which one you're at, you'll probably see an Allosaurus, since I'm gonna put 3 Allosaurus in here. Speaking of Allosaurus, I think it's finally time to get them in the enclosure. And here they are, Allosaurus. Oh my goodness. Straight away, I love the colors. As you can see, I chose the Frontier variant since I don't like the way the movies look. They're way too spiky, you know? But, ooh, this one looks so cool. It's so saturated, I think. That's the word, I think. Saturated, right? Very saturated. Then we also have this one, which kind of reminds me of Big Al. Wow, they all loud. And then you have this one, which is, it's a meh color. It's just greens. The green is very muted. But I do love how vibrant the spots are. Ooh, the social animation. Okay, time to trach them. And the allos are in. Name suggestions in the comments if you want to, of course. You don't have to. For all 3 of these Allosaurus, we already looked at the colors back in the place where we hatched them. I should probably give that a name. And let's just call it the place where we hatched them. Yep. So we have this green one. We have this one right here, this very vibrant, saturated one. And then we have this one that reminds me of Big Al, who might be named Big Al, but we don't know yet, because you gotta put the name suggestions. I just noticed they're actually holding their hands the correct way. They're not breaking their wrists, because in the movies, they're obviously breaking their wrists by putting them in a, like, playing the drums motion, where they would have normally just held it in a clapping the hands motion, you could say. Like this. Yes, I love the... Oh, we have some phasing going on. Yeah, and some, like, doing the same animation. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is just amazing. Wow. You done yet? Okay, you're done. Wait, no, I don't think they're done phasing through each other. Dang, these dinos really like phasing through each other. Can tell you one thing. When I was just watching these things, they were phasing like crazy. They've stopped now, but when I first put them in the enclosure, they would not stop phasing through each other. Quite like them though. Well, I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed the video, remember to slash that like button and consider subscribing if you don't want to miss out on any future content. And I guess that's gonna wrap it up, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye!